guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Blanca and welcome to my library. I know this has been like since June since I haven't really sat down and talked because I've been really focusing on my CAS diaries because it's my senior year and I need to get going on work and stuff. But happy band book week, which I didn't know it was this week. I didn't even know it existed, but Penguin Random House like sent me an email saying happy band book week. So I just thought to sit here and talk a bit of some band books that I've read. Also, I did a similar video while all the band book stuff happened in the US. But I really tried to, of course there are a lot of books that are similar, but I really tried to change someone things, and I think it's like kind of interesting how different books were banned differently around the world, not only in the US with Trump's context. So let's get started. First of all, I have them annotated because I would forget. First of all, I wanted to start off with The Catcher in the Rye. There was a mandatory read on 9th grade, I believe. No. I'm in year 12, so not junior. It's like freshman, I think it's called. In 10th grade, probably. Yes, I think it's 10th grade, but it was a mandatory read, basically. And it really amazed me how usually mandatory reads are books that are being cancelled. I mean, I get you have to know the context, and this book especially give you that context and stuff, but this was banned because a lot of like crimes were committed by people who had read the book. So like the government and stuff believed that this book was corrupted. Besides, I know this book pretty well because I'm doing my internal assessment on English on the Catcher in the Rye, so I analyzed this before. This is like an easy take on this video. So published in 1951, sorry. And yeah, I forgot the name, but someone killed someone with that book. But one thing about this is like it really highlights the society of those days and how they live, and a lot of teenagers feel identified with Holden's chapter. I really like the book. Well, I had to read it like twice to make it all like I like to like the book, because I read it first read for first exam of the mandatory read 10th grade, didn't like it. Second read for a second exam, because I usually when I take up the book I don't like they say chapter 1 to 10, I just read the whole book because I don't know, I was weird, okay. So I got to read like the whole book several times due to exam reason. I had to read it again last year and this year for internal assessment, so I'm pretty sick of the book right now. But I remember that the second third read it's when I started like it. Now I'm starting getting sick of it. But well, it's The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Following up, we got a book that I haven't got physical. Well, I have it just don't know where, because it was also a mandatory read from when I was in 3rd grade maybe, so it's a matter of the Little Prince. But I do have the second book of The Little Prince, that for those who you don't know, a Spanish publisher aligned with the French. I probably it's not the author, of course, but I'm pretty sure like was his association organization or something to create the second part of the book. Haven't started yet. I'm really excited because I love The Little Prince so much. You can see from the phone case I have. Well, you can't see my phone case, but you probably see from my phone case that I love that book so much. So I'm really excited to read the new part, but I haven't read this one. Besides, the publisher sent it to me, which makes me so excited about it. But well, The Little Prince was banned in Argentina, and I don't know if I did this. I put this because this is a country. Maybe it's not a country, it's a word or something, but it's Videla. I don't know if it's a place, something. I just tend to note things and forget about them. Basically, since he's like the adventures of a kid looking for friends, and well, you probably all know how the Little Prince works. This was against like the mechanisms of control on that era of Argentina, so they banned the Little Prince, which makes me like so confused about it because it's the Little Prince. I mean, it's a kid's book. Well, I think to get like a better understanding of the book, you can't be a kid, maybe more of a teenager, adulthood, and you get better reading that, because when you read this book as a kid, it seems like superficial, but to really like understand the complex of the book, I think if you give it a try later, you find a lot of things that you didn't catch when you were a kid, and can you feel the book. So that's why I think this book's like so amazing, because it's like simple and it's complex in a simple way. So I don't know how to explain it, but I love The Little Prince so much. Following up, I don't have it in paperback, but I have a Lego. Yeah, no questions. Alice in Wonderland. It's super cute because just like I'm going to show you my Lego. This is like a key just to light up this. Well, you can't see it's lighting up. And this Alice, you can open the book. The thing is, I put like a lot of random stuff that I shouldn't put inside. So it's kind of, I'm afraid like if I open this, I can open this, okay, but if I do, probably in this, yay! I feel it's like super cute. I love it. It's the 40 euros best I ever spent, and I actually have it here. But I just took it out for the video, and this book was banned in China because Alice like talks with animals, and I think this is like a super dumb reason. But they believe like they was like putting animals to the same level as human, and they believe in human supremacy and stuff. So since Alice talk with humans and this kind of fantastic schizophrenic world that she builds, was banned in China because of that. I think it's a bit stupid, but well. Following up, we have the Da Vinci Code that I don't have here because one friend of mine has it. I'm doing my internal assessment of maths on that book, so you can tell how much I like it. And this was banned in Lebanon due to religious questions. No, I don't know how to say it. Due to religion, because maybe when I was reading, I really didn't thought of that, like, not really. But people said like it was anti-Christianism. It was like a lot of things against the Catholic Church. I didn't see it, and maybe it's like so obvious, but I was so focused on the math of the book when I was reading it, because I needed for the internal assessment, so I didn't really take focus on other stuff that much. But I don't know, I feel weird. I think it's such a masterpiece by Dan Brown. Because I read Inferno and I didn't like it. I have it there. I'm not gonna take it out, but I read Inferno, which is a bestseller or something, has an award. It was a bestseller, I don't know. I didn't like it, but I liked the Da Vinci Code a lot. Following up, 1984 by George Orwell. This is such an iconic book, and I get why this was, well, I don't get why it was banned, but we all know this book was banned everywhere somewhere, and saying I can say with Rebellion at the Farm, I don't know how it's called in English. Well, 1984 by George Orwell, of course, was banned due to politics and how all the critics to society that this book enhance. So I get it. Well, I don't get it. I get it, but I don't understand it. So we all know this is like super political book, and probably if I was a government who wanted power and all the things they wanted at that time, I'd probably ban that too. But I think banning books, it's kind of the other way around of doing the things, because if you want something, probably people will want to read it more just out of curiosity, and now with internet, probably find that book somewhere, even if it's banned. Following up the same line as 1984, we have also Brave New World. Apart from, of course, politics, well, his science, those dystopian books, we all get why it was banned. Dystopia kind of shows reality or reflects. But Brave New World, we have other topics, and there's like explicit scenes and sex explicitly. I read more explicit sex scenes in other books than in Brave New World, but I get it. I think it's mainly because of politics, but I searched this on Google. I didn't really put much effort on this video, sorry guys. I did my best, okay, but no, I didn't do my best. I didn't put much effort, but I didn't deep dive on topics. I just did a basic research to know what I'm talking about. Yeah, basically Brave New World because of explicit scenes, which I don't believe there are, but well, up. Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. I love Kafka so much, and I mean, this is gonna sound contradictory, this is the only book I read about with him, but I love like I really want to read more, but classics are not my style, so, but this was amazing. Talks a story about how Gregor Samsa wakes up one day being, I was going to say crocoach, but it's not a crocoach, it's just a bug or something, an insect, but it's not a crocoach. And he said like so many times it's not a crocoach, and everyone's like drawing crocoach on the covers and stuff. Never mind, we all love him. Who's Franz Kafka, anyways. So Franca, like, this book was banned in Germany on the First World War time, and this was mainly because it's not the content of the book, it was because of our lovely Kafka, who's banned. He was banned by the Nazis, like he was a criminal at that time, same as many other authors, because I mainly, when I talk like history of authors, I just know about Spanish things. So I did like more research, and Kafka was banned by the Nazis because, yes, I don't know, he was banned. I don't know what he did, but he was banned. Tales from Canterbury, another mandatory read. I know most of them are mandatory reads. I read this one before, but in 10th grade I also got it as mandatory read, although I read it before the mandatory read, but it was still assigned. And The Catcher in the Rye, of course. But Tales from Canterbury was a mandatory read from the dual diploma program. For those who don't know, and you're better without knowing, it's a program with where you combine like two high schools, which is in my case Spanish one and US. It's whatever your country and US high school. Worst 3 years of my life. But never mind, I got amazing reads, only Tales from Canterbury, because I don't think I got more mandatory reads, and I don't think I've read them. If there was any, I didn't read them. So yeah, it's like the first time I don't read. I'm pretty much someone who always reads mandatory reads. I find them interesting, and if I don't read it, it's because I've read it before. So Tales from Canterbury, we analyzed that book kind of much during 2 semesters, I think, but basically it was banned in the US because it was obscene. When I'm reading those books, I'm not really, if besides mandatory reads, but when I'm reading books, I don't really focus on if it's I don't really focus at all. I just read it, and probably if you ask me tomorrow, I won't remind of anything of the book. But I don't find Tales from Canterbury obscene. I almost thought it was like kind of a childish tales. Like don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying Tales from Canterbury is for a child. But I didn't really find like those type of vibes. So I don't really think it was obscene. It's a story about peregrines, how peregrines go to Canterbury. I read this one 30 years ago, so trust me, I don't remind anything. But I just find it so weird that I basically find the concept of banning books weird. But besides that, especially like some books like Alice in Wonderland, which is literally a child's tale, like it's almost a fairy tale right now. And others like are Little Prince, I don't think makes much sense. But well, last but not least, this is a Spanish book by Leopoldo Alas Clarín. No, his name is Leopoldo Alas, but he had like another name for publishing, which is Clarín. And this is the Regent's Wife, or I don't know how to say it. It was because it had two names, the Regent's Wife, and they made another translation called the Lady Regent or something like that. Well, this book, look how tab it is. So basically it's not because I enjoyed it so much, it was because I was going to forget. Like, we got spoiled by, I'm in A, well, I was in A, I'm still in A, well no, I'm in IB, so we only have one class of IB, but I was in A, like A class. We got divided by layers, but I was in A when I was in high school, well, middle school. It's kind of weird. I'm trying to translate like a Spanish system to US, but this was mandatory read, and the B class told us like the questions are super specific. They ask what kind of soup, and it was like it's really specific. I don't remember what kind of soup the I forgot who ate when he was at page 90. I don't remember. And so we got like every single detail written down. And also I was on a time I really like to analyze books on like annotate books with actual words. I don't do that anymore. But it was fine because I feel super proud because after the exam they explained us the book. It's kind of weird, okay, I know. And it explained us the book, and they was like, oh, you know, this means that, and I had already written down that. I feel like intelligent. What was gonna talk about this book? So basically was banned due to sexuality, religion, and everything that happens in this book is controversial. Of course, I mean, it's kind of a Romeo and Juliet story where two guys fight for one girl. Or it was the other way around? No, it's two guys fighting for the regent's wife. And she's like so polite and so elegant and so demure that caught up with problems. Sorry guys, I had fear yesterday. I'm not off with that. We sang Loading, although the teacher told us to learn for good, and we sang Loading. I'm glad we did that because I didn't know for good, and I do know the lyrics of Loading, but it was horrible singing. Well, never mind. This was banned. Okay, this was banned. And I didn't do my research well because I thought I knew this information already, because I know like some of them, I searched all of them like where it was banned, and I didn't know too because I know this is obvious, so probably this was Spain, but I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure, but I think it was Spain who banned this book. So yeah, it's like enough annotations of what color was the dress, because there were super specific questions. I don't really think that's a great way to make exams, but well, who am I to judge? And that's it for the video today. Hope you like it. I'm going to record another one right now, so if you see me with the same outfit, yeah, probably did that both of them at the same time. So hope you like this video. Hope you learn about another type, like banned books from other countries besides US. And if you haven't watched that video that I did, I'll talk about the US book ban that has been placed, that I don't think it's placed. Well, I'm not following politics lately. Well, not following politics of the US. I'm following Spanish and mostly Europe and that stuff. Because I'm in MUN and I'm a muner and I don't like to debate, but I still debate it because I find it funny. But never mind. So here are my other socials. If you wanna see me there, I'm usually and mostly more online and active on those platforms than here in YouTube. I think I said I love the video there. Yeah. So see you the next time. Bye. And I'm leaving you here another video on my channel so you can see.